Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. We have another partnership video with Jerković from the Wine and More, and Wine Basement Bar. So we're going to taste a couple of unique red wines today. So thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this one. Could you introduce me this very rare, small production, rare grape, Jerković?
Jerković.
Yeah,
it's really hard to pronounce. The winemaker, the region, and the variety. It's really hard.
So the region is Mračaj?
Mračaj is a micro location in Imotski.
Okay.
And Imotski is like Dalmatia, like inlands.
Okay. And the grape variety is?
Rudežuša. Try to pronounce that.
Yeah, my goodness. Well, first of all, let's talk about the story real quickly, briefly. Awesome story of this guy, right? Like,
I mean, it's a young guy. He produces, he makes wine. He and his brother and his whole family. Like the long story is, his father was best known for making Jerković Kujundžiša and Mračaj, this Rudežuša. But his father unfortunately passed out, and the son continued making a production. And he's a young guy, like 32 years old, and they make only these two wines, Kujundžiša and Rudežuša.
And you Kujundžiša, I'm sorry, my pronunciation's awful. We tasted in an earlier video. Let's give this a taste. The Wine and More, honestly, and this is not by coincidence the only place I've seen it. So the only place. I think he's a friend of yours, right?
Yeah,
correct?
he's a friend of mine, and like they produce only 400 to 400 bottles of this, maybe 1,000 bottles of this.
Very ripe nose. Raisins, forest floor. Anything else, Shireen, that you remembered from this? It's very rich and dense. You want to smell it? You want to smell it again, or anything like that? It's anything. What else? What do you feel about the nose?
I mean, it's a well balanced fruits, like some raisins maybe.
Yeah, raisin, more chocolate, cocoa powder.
To me, honestly, like I would think this would be could be a California Zinfandel. It's pretty ripe. Let's give this a little bit of a taste. What I like is the nose feels a bit oxidated and overripe, and then the palate brings me back. Got nice acidity. The fruit doesn't become overripe. You get this almost red fruit flavor, like red plum.
I mean, what I like about this wine, it has pretty high acidity, but it's so well balanced, and it's so well balanced with the body. It's different. It's I mean, there's not so many Croatian wines that are like so high acidity and so well balanced.
We'll finish this. It's actually, you know what, for the uniqueness factor, I'm more in the 3.9 range because of the uniqueness factor. I don't think everybody's going to love the wine because it's bright nose. It's not for everybody, but it's one of those wines, you know, sometimes you get mad when the nose is not matching the palate, but for me, it works somehow here. And I like the story. I really like small producers. The label is like awesome in terms of boutique producers. It's a kind of label I'm going to look at in the store. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's like boutique. It's going to be high quality wine.
That's their house basically on the label. The house where they make wines, and it's like old stony house, characteristic for that region. And the price of this wine, it's 55 kunas, I think, on Wine and More.
Yeah, so it's like €8, maybe, if that, €7, something like that.
It's almost €6.
Okay, why don't you finish that up, and we'll taste them. So the next is from Pleševića. So we're heading there tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Southwest of Zagreb, maybe 30, 40 minutes. I've heard about this producer, Ivančič. This is the Portugizer Barrique from 2000.
I think it's 14.
And 14. Can you see that right there? A little bit.
Oh, perfect.
Portugizer here is kind of like Beaujolais Nouveau to Croatia. Usually served very young, but this is serious Portugizer. Anything you want to say about this grape, this producer?
I mean, as you said, Portugizer wines are like young wines. They're like people are used to drink them like for in December, January, and that's it. But this here is a Barrique Portugizer, and that's the only. I think that's the only winemaker that.
That's the only
makes
one
something
I've
like that.
seen. So let's give this a. First of all, I'm biased towards this wine. I think this has been open. This one's been open for a little while. But I had this before. I kind of like it because, to me, maybe some people are going to crucify me by saying this. It almost is Chianti Classico-esque. I get some sour. Shireen says no. Shireen says no. I love the sour cherry.
I like the story about this wine when you tasted it the first time. Like you liked it and Shireen didn't like
Yeah,
it.
it happens all the time. Palates are different. Let's give this a little bit of a
I
taste.
think it was almost the you like label it like the best wine we tasted that night.
I think it's because it was the most surprising. So, you're getting a lot of sour cherry, a lot of forest floor leaves on this. So these medium, thinner body, the tannins are extremely soft, extremely drinkable. I think that this is going to appeal to a lot of like, this is more feminine, definitely, to me. A lot of people that don't really like the bitterness, the tannins. It's nice. It's got enough to be simple, and it's also got enough going on where some people would be interested. What else do you think about this?
I mean, it's a different wine, something different. Like I'm honestly not too big fan of Portuguese wines,
Me neither.
but this is something different and like worth tasting definitely.
So I think it's worth tasting, definitely. For me, for my palate, I'm still going about 3.6, 3.7. I still think it's pretty darn good. I'm just as is high because maybe not everybody's going to like it. I definitely think it's soft, it's interesting, it's something you can try, and it's a good value too. I mean, this is
10 euros, I think.
10 euros, something like that. So
10 euros.
we're enjoying here in the basement bar here in Zagreb. It's a great place, great vibe. They always play great music, as you can see. It's really cool. It's like in an old cellar. So thanks a lot for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We done with Jerković. So we did several videos, and they'll be up on the Wine and More, and they'll also be on our website, Exotic Wine Travel. So guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I'll see you in the next episode.
Really.